Have you ever held a coin so ordinary, yet so full of hidden history, that it could be worth thousands of dollars and you'd never even know it? Imagine finding a simple 2005 nickel, the one with that proud American buffalo on the back, sitting in your pocket change, only to discover it could be worth as much as a brand new car or even a small house. Yes, you heard that right. This little 5-cent coin, often overlooked and spent without a second thought, might just be hiding a value that could blow your mind. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 2005 Buffalo Nickel, also known as the Jefferson Bison Nickel, and trust me, you're going to want to stay until the very end, because the shocking value some of these coins have sold for will absolutely leave you speechless. Now, before you start digging through your change jar, let's take a step back in time and uncover why this coin exists in the first place. The story behind it is as American as it gets. The year was 2005. The U.S. Mint decided to celebrate the 200th anniversary of one of the most famous journeys in American history, the Lewis and Clark expedition. This was the great adventure that opened the West, connecting the nation to the Pacific and uncovering lands that would shape the destiny of America. And to mark this momentous anniversary, the Mint released a special series of nickels called the Westward Journey series. Among them, the Bison nickel quickly became one of the most iconic designs ever struck. At first glance, you might think it's just another nickel. The front, or obverse, still shows Thomas Jefferson, but look closely, you'll notice it's not the same old design we'd seen for decades. The 2005 version features a bold, more lifelike portrait of Jefferson, facing forward with that sharp gaze. It's almost as if he's watching you, reminding you of America's roots in exploration and discovery. And then, flip it over, and there it is, a magnificent American buffalo, strong and proud, standing tall on the plains. That image alone evokes a sense of history, freedom, and wilderness. It's not just a coin. It's a tribute to the American spirit. But here's where things get really interesting, because while millions of these nickels were minted, not all of them are created equal. Some hold secrets that make collectors go absolutely crazy. Some 2005 Buffalo nickels, especially those minted in Denver with that tiny D under Jefferson's portrait, can fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And a few special era coins have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, climbing into the 5- and even 6-figure range. Now let's talk about the design in more detail, because every line, every curve, tells a story. On the reverse, the buffalo, officially called the American bison, was modeled after a real-life animal named Black Diamond. He lived in the Central Park Zoo in New York City in the early 1900s, and his powerful image inspired one of America's most beloved coins, the original Buffalo Nickel of 1913. The 2005 Bison Nickel brings that design back to life, blending nostalgia with modern artistry. You can see the thick fur along the shoulders, the curved horns, the heavy stance of the bison, each detail carefully sculpted to echo that rugged American frontier. The inscription around the edge reads United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, with 5 cents at the bottom. Simple, classic, and timeless. On the obverse, the word liberty appears in Jefferson's own handwriting, a beautiful touch that gives this coin personality and depth. But while this design is celebrated for its artistry, it's the errors that make it legendary among collectors. Oh yes, this coin has some wild, valuable mistakes hiding in plain sight. Point one of the most famous is known as the speared bison error. Imagine a line like a spear running straight through the body of the buffalo, right through its back and belly. It looks like the poor bison has been struck by an arrow. This dramatic minting error wasn't intentional, it happened because of a die gouge, a deep scratch or cut that transferred onto thousands of coins before it was discovered. And when collectors found it, they went absolutely nuts. Overnight, the 2005 speared bison nickel became one of the most sought-after modern coins in the U.S. history. At first, you could pick one up for just a few dollars, but as word spread, the prices skyrocketed. Today, depending on condition, these coins can sell anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand. But here's the kicker. In pristine, uncirculated condition, those bright, shiny examples that look like they just left the mint, some have sold for $15,000, $20,000, and even higher in certified auctions. One high-grade MS-67 example has been reported selling in the $25,000 to $30,000 range. That's right, a 5-cent coin turning into a small fortune. But that's not the only thing that makes the 2005 Buffalo Nickel exciting. Even regular, non-error versions in top condition can be surprisingly valuable. Most circulated examples, like the one you might find in your change, are worth around face value, maybe a few cents more. But uncirculated ones, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can easily reach $20 to $100. And if you happen to have one with strong strike details, full luster, and no scratches or wear well, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds or even thousands. Now, let's pause for a second and think about that. A nickel. Just 5 cents. You might have hundreds of them lying around your house, in jars, drawers, or coffee cans. And one of them could be worth thousands. Isn't that mind-blowing? This is why coin collectors, especially those who know what to look for, never overlook modern coins. Because even something made in the 2000s can hold value that rivals older silver and gold pieces. But let's go deeper. The 2005 Bison nickel was minted in 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. You can tell which one you have by the tiny minmark letter under the year on the front of the coin. AP means Philadelphia, and AD means Denver. The Denver Mint is where the famous speared bison era was discovered. So, if you have one with AD minmark, pay attention. It might just be your lucky day. Now, the condition of your coin plays a huge role in its value. In the coin world, we use a grading scale that runs from poor all the way up to mint state 70, which means flawless. Most coins found in circulation show where they're dull, scratched, maybe a little dirty. Those might be worth face value, but uncirculated examples, especially those kept in rolls or mint sets, can look stunning. Their surfaces are shiny, with sharp details. These are the coins collectors fight over. Your coin, the one shown in this image, has that unmistakable look of a circulated piece. You can see light scratches across the field, a few spots of toning, and that gentle wear across Jefferson's cheek and the bison's fur. But even so, it's a wonderful example of a coin with history. It's been through countless hands, maybe used to buy coffee, gas, or groceries, yet here it is, still carrying the proud image of American strength. And here's a little secret. Sometimes even circulated coins can hide rare die varieties or subtle doubling. There are reports of 2005 nickel showing die cracks, planchet flaws, or die polishing lines that make each one unique. So never underestimate what you might have. A small imperfection can make all the difference between 5 cents and $5,000. Now let's stir the excitement even higher. Imagine this scenario: you're at a flea market or a garage sale, flipping through a tray of loose coins. You see that familiar buffalo design, pick it up, and realize it's a 2005 D. You flip it over and bam! You notice a faint line cutting through the bison's body. You take it home, clean your glasses, grab a magnifier, and there it is, the legendary speared bison. You check online, and your heart starts racing. That little coin, the one you bought for $1, could be worth more than $25,000. That's the thrill of coin collecting, its treasure hunting in your own pocket. And what makes the 2005 Buffalo Nickel so special is that it connects the old with the new. It's a modern coin that revives one of the most loved classic designs in U.S. history. The original Buffalo Nickel of 1913 to 1938 is already a collector favorite. But this 2005 version, struck for just 1 year, brought back that same wild spirit, that nostalgia for the American frontier, the open plains, and the proud bison. It bridges generations. For older collectors, it brings back memories of the old Buffalo Nickel. For younger ones, it's a modern masterpiece with a story worth telling. And let's not forget, the U.S. Mint didn't stop there. The following year, in 2006, they introduced an entirely new design, the Jefferson Return to Monticello nickel we still use today. So that makes the 2005 Bison Nickel even more special. It's a 1-year design, a short chapter in U.S. coin history that stands out for its boldness and beauty. And as collectors know, 1-year designs often become highly desirable over time. So what should you look for if you want to find one of these treasures yourself? Start by checking the mintmark. If it's AD, look closely for that famous spear line through the bison's back. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Examine the surface for cracks, lines, or doubling. Look at the fur texture, the legs, and the area beneath the belly. Even small variations can mean big money. And if your coin looks flawless, no scratches, no wear, bright luster, consider getting it graded. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC will certify your coin's authenticity and condition, and that's what turns an ordinary find into a high-value collectible. Graded examples in mint state 66 or 67 can fetch thousands, especially if they have that speared bison error. Now, imagine showing that coin to your friends or family. You hand them a nickel and say, "This little coin is worth more than your car." Their jaws drop. That's the kind of reaction these coins get. It's the wow factor that makes this hobby so addictive. But there's also something deeper here. Coins like this remind us that history is all around us, in our pockets, our change, our daily lives. Each one is a tiny time capsule, carrying stories of the nation's past, of art, of mistakes that turned into miracles. And that's what makes collecting so special. It's not just about the money, it's about the discovery. Still, let's be honest, finding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars is everyone's dream. So never overlook your nickels. Check every one. Because lightning can strike twice. Just like those who found the rare 2004 piece metal and ocean in view nickels with doubled dies or die clashes, the 2005 Buffalo Nickel remains one of the most thrilling discoveries in modern coinage. Now, let's talk about some real-world sales that have stunned collectors. In 2005, when these coins first hit circulation, few people paid attention. But within a few months, sharp-eyed collectors spotted that odd speared line across the bison's back. The hunt was on. By 2006, examples were selling for hundreds. A few years later, certified high-grade specimens hit auction houses and started fetching prices no one expected. Reports show sales hitting $17,000, $22,000, and even $30,000 for top-rated speared bison nickels. And here's the incredible part: more are still out there. Experts believe not all of these coins have been found. That means you could be holding one right now without even realizing it. Maybe it's in a drawer, a coin jar, or tucked away in an old wallet. That's what makes this story so exciting, because it could happen to anyone. So what can you take away from all this? 3 key things. First, never underestimate a coin just because it looks modern. Second, always check for mint errors and varieties. And third, keep an eye on condition, because in the world of coins, condition is king. Now, as we come to the end of this fascinating journey, think about the irony here. The Lewis and Clark expedition was about exploration, discovery, and venturing into the unknown. And this coin, minted 2 centuries later to honor that journey, continues that legacy. Every collector who searches through nickels is, in a way, retracing that same path of discovery, venturing into the unknown, never sure what treasure they'll find next. So, next time you get change at the store, take a good look at your nickels. You might just find a piece of American history, and maybe even a fortune hiding in plain sight. Whether it's a regular 2005 bison nickel or the legendary speared bison era, each one tells a story of art, adventure, and pure American spirit. And who knows, your next nickel might just be worth $30,000 or more. So go ahead, check those coins, grab a magnifying glass, and start your own little expedition. Because sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the biggest surprises.